The African American Film Critics Association, also known as AAFCA, is committed to defining and supporting the artistic work by and about persons of African descent. For over 2 decades, they have celebrated film excellence from an African and African American narrative. The more prestigious among their annual film awards are seen to be the greatest buzz since they hold the key to raising diverse stories and black creatives in Hollywood. Meghan Markle submitted this year for the Directing Award for her debut film titled Rising. During interviews that preceded the award show, Markle had confidently been quoted as the first African American female director nominee. However, it was not long before the claim to the title by Markle was brought to question. Markle was of biracial heritage, with a black mother, so many claimed that she was not an African American based on her lived experiences. Markle was born and raised in Los Angeles to a white father. She has spoken with reporters before about experiencing very little racism or discrimination when she was growing up. The interview was old, however. She went on to attend elite private schools and universities prior to marrying into the British royal family. The controversy grew after some in the black community expressed that it feels wrong for Markle to co-opt an identity without properly understanding the challenges and oppression faced by African Americans. This means that she had been a beneficiary of white privilege throughout most of her life, and in their eyes, it would not be genuine if she were to suddenly identify with the black race in order to receive titles and recognition. With increased criticism, the board of AAFCA was between a rock and a hard place on what to do with Markle's nomination and titles. The reaction has been mixed, in support of Markle and against. Some of them have said, she has every right to describe herself in a way she wants, but her critics were pretty unnecessarily mean. They felt that being a biracial woman with an African American mother, she had every right to stand up and say her piece about her black heritage and roots with pride. His defenders argued that, in the state of the world at present, representation does indeed matter, which is exemplified by the need for a black woman like Markle to be honored for her achievements. However, many others have staunchly disagreed. What they saw was Meghan's actions in the latest example of a culture where black achievements can be co-opted without permission or repercussion when they become brindy or beneficial. Many rallied behind the decisions of AAFCA to allow nominations from directors who genuinely had to face systemic racism and break barriers within the industry due to their skin color. AAFCA was under huge pressure from every quarter as the days before the event counted down. They issued a statement that indicated the nomination for Markle would be subjected to an additional review process to assess her eligibility against their set criteria. This did little to quell the debate. It was behind doors where the board members made lengthy discussion on how their next move would be in such a way that they don't fall into further controversy but, at the same time, stay true to the integrity of their mission. Nonetheless, despite this and other facts, in that award ceremony, when the first round of judging was over, the announcement was made that Meghan Markle had not made it to the final round in her category of directing. This comment was met with gasps by the audience. Answering questions in a post-show press conference, AAFCA President Gil Robertson noted, after thorough review and discussion, the board determined Ms. Markle's perception of her identity and experiences did not meet the spirit of championing black creatives the awards aimed to recognize. The decision was welcomed with mixed reactions yet again, but many at the same time praised AAFCA for taking a stand, however uncomfortable, on this nuanced issue around racial identification and the privilege of Hollywood. In retrospect, the incident highlighted important discussions that remain ongoing, particularly in entertainment. There also remains a debate around who gets to claim blackness and African American identity. Biracial and multiracial celebrities raise discussions with one black parent and need to recognize discussions that see both sides of one's ethnic background versus co-opting a label only when it's convenient. Also, the awards highlighted judging based on an identity outwardly seen but also based on lived experiences of racism and challenges faced and overcome. And where representation matters, the agenda of those seeking to further opportunities for more people of various racial and cultural backgrounds should be furthered over appearing progressive at the expense of others. On the whole, many considered taking a stance as something that would encourage a more nuanced dialogue on identity, recognition, and power dynamics in Hollywood going forward. Ultimately, though not without its own controversy, Meghan Markle's AAFCA experience started an important, ongoing discussion. As the film industry works to be more inclusive, the layers of identity will only become more complex. It is events like this that remind us that fairness means not only opening doors but also ensuring that communities who have been impacted by lack of recognition for so long are heard. It is an evolution of consciousness as societies change, but progress means first admitting them, meaning in this case even the most uncomfortable of conversations. The story reflects that recognition should be awarded with care, but not so much that traditions and identities of such important organizations as AAFCA would be tampered with.